Hello. I know at the end of my last episode, I was a pony with my regular head. So you're wondering, why am I back to normal? Well, that's because I don't care about continuity in my show. After all, if robots in disguise can get away with it, why can't I? Hello, I'm the Animator, and welcome to another episode of Cartoon Breakdown. The other day on Facebook, I saw one of those list questionnaires that you fill out and leave answers that were only truthful. Or as truthful as you want them to be. One of the questions was asking what your favorite cartoon was from your childhood. I only thought about it for a moment, and my answer were two cartoons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Transformers. These two were the ones I remember being truly happy watching, and I have the most fondest memories of. So I figured I would talk about the Transformers, seeing as it was a toy line first and a show second. As Transformers is from Hasbro, it seemed only fitting. On the last episode, I talked about another of Hasbro's toy lines, My Little Pony, or more specifically, the most successful incarnation of the My Little Pony franchise, Friendship is Magic. And as such, I felt that it's only fair that I talk about the most successful incarnation of the Transformers franchise, Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime got its start with Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci, both of whom were co-writers of Michael Bay's Transformers movie and The Revenge of the Fallen. And with Jeff Klein and Dwayne Capizzi, they set out to create Transformers Prime. Kurtzman and Orci wanted to explore the Transformers universe in more depth than what they could with the live-action movies. They wanted to explore the characters and their arcs, as well as the mythology behind the Transformers. The fact that both Kurtzman and Orci worked on Michael Bay's Transformers is one of the reasons why there's a heavy influence on the show from the movies. Though, as Orci stated, the idea behind the show is very different from the movie, as the movies are about a boy and his cars, and the show would have an Iron Giant feel with their characters. There is further evidence of this, as the Transformers were the main focus of the show, whereas in the movie, the human characters were the main focus. Another thing of note is that Transformers Prime is the first entirely computer-generated show since Beast Wars, though earlier versions of the show had a mix of both 2D and 3D animation. And we all know Transformers Energon showed us just how well that could work. The story of Prime is supposed to take place in the Aligned Universe, meaning that it takes place in the same continuity as War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron games. This is because Hasbro gave the team working on Prime the Binder of Revelations, a 400-page production bible that they were supposed to work with to keep the franchises at least in some sort of continuity with each other. This is also why Bumblebee had no voice in this series, along with Michael Bay's Transformers. Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci had set out to make Transformers Prime the definitive Transformers, hence for the Prime part, as they literally wanted it to be the prime source for the lore and characters. This is why the creative team on Prime and Hasbro often butted heads, as the creative team wanted more autonomy from the Binder of Revelations, and Hasbro wanted a more strict adherence to it. Also, this is why the third season changed its premise to include a Predacon arc. Season 3 had gone over budget, and there weren't as many people as they wanted to work on the show, so they had to drop some ideas. Some of the dropped ideas were a Maximal and Predacons arc, and the fourth season was going to introduce pirates. How awesome would that have been? Pirate robots. I mean, just saying it gives me shivers of joy. The characters of the show consisted, for the Autobots, Optimus Prime with Peter Cullen reprising his role for the series, Simile Montano as the voice of RC, Jeffrey Combs as a very grumpy Ratchet, Kevin Michael Richardson doing a very good job at Bulkhead, Nolan North as the inexperienced Smokescreen, and rounding out the Autobots, Will Friedle as Bumblebee, though he wouldn't get his voice until the last episode. As for the Decepticons, Frank Welker is taking up the mantle of Megatron once again, as well as Soundwave, Steve Blum as the voice of Starscream, and Darian Norris as the ever-fabulous Dr. Knockout. The terrifying Shockwave, voiced by David Sobolov, Arachnid, voiced by Gina Torres, Adam Baldwin, voicing Breakdown, and finishing off the Decepticons, Dreadwing, voiced by Tony Todd. On the human side, the characters are Jack Derby, voiced by Josh Keaton, Tanya Gennady, as the ever-annoying Miko Nagade, Raph Esquivel, voiced by Andy Pessoa, and last because it's the best is William Fowler, voiced by who you gonna call Ernie Hudson. Season 1 of the show started November 29, 2010, with the 5-part opening Darkness Rising and the last 5-part episode airing December 3rd. February 11, 2011, Season 1 picked back up and ran until October 15th, with 26 episodes. Season 2 started February 18, 2012 and ended November 2nd and added 26 more episodes. The third and final season started March 22nd, 2013 and ran until July 26th, adding 13 episodes and making the final total for the series 65. The series had a TV movie that wraps up the show called Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Predacons Rising. As for watching the show and the TV movie, you can see them on the usual streaming sites like YouTube, Amazon, Vudu, Google Play, and Netflix. As for the DVDs, you can find all 3 seasons on Amazon, as well as all 3 seasons on Blu-ray, plus a box set on Blu-ray for a reasonable price. I have to admit, when I saw the show for the first time, I was put off as it resembled Bayformers. I also didn't like the idea of the entire planet of Cybertron being dead. Bulkhead's voice also put me off at first, as I liked the animated Bulkhead's voice better because he was Broadway from Gargoyles. I was also still a bit bitter as animated just finished up with the 3rd season and I wanted more. Fortunately, I had a friend and fellow Transformers fan who kept bugging me about it and pulled my head out of my butt and got me to give the show a second chance it deserved. So Rachel, if you're watching this, thanks. I would have missed a wonderful series that took the subject matter seriously enough for people of all ages to enjoy it. If this was your first episode and you've made it this far, welcome. And if you like this episode, please check out my channel and subscribe, and when you're done with that, maybe you could watch my other videos. As always, I'm the Animator, and this was Cartoon Breakdown. Oh man, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it up a bit so that way it doesn't look so obvious. I'd believe it.